Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Marlene Marks, and today is Yom Hashoa, Holocaust Memorial Day here in Israel. Now, as I said yesterday, today is a day that's different to International Holocaust Memorial Day. Today is a day that is commemorated in Israel and in diaspora communities around the world and is focused specifically on the Jewish victims of the Holocaust. Yad Vashem, Israel's National Holocaust Museum and Memorial, have dedicated this year's commemoration to 80 years of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. The date of Yom Hashoa was intentionally chosen to coincide with the brave men and women who, in the Warsaw Ghetto, stood up against insurmountable odds to the Nazi terror. They managed to hold the Nazis at bay for quite a few weeks before unfortunately being killed. Last night, kicking off ceremonies around the country, there was a ceremony at Yad Vashem. This was attended by a variety of dignitaries, from various ambassadors and envoys to officials from the government and our most precious of all, Holocaust survivors. It was also attended by the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, who is in Israel on a historical visit, and more about that in a couple of minutes. Last night, President Herzog gave his annual speech. He spoke about the importance of Israelis coming together in these days of awe to remember and perpetuate the memory of the Holocaust. Referring to the upheaval in recent months around the proposed judicial reforms, he cautioned against calling anybody a Nazi, saying there was only one group of Nazis and these were them, and this was the result of that. The president also spoke at length in his speech about scientific experiments that were committed on 86 Jews who were gassed and then used as laboratory experiments, and how after so many decades their identities were then found and honor was restored to their memory. It was also the turn for the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, to give his address. He also paid tribute to survivors of the Holocaust and also cautioned that Iran has become the modern-day Nazis. In his speech, the Prime Minister also mentioned how amazing it is to see that the United Arab Emirates, as part of the Abraham Accords, is teaching Holocaust education in their schools. Earlier today at 10 a.m., a 2-minute siren rang out throughout the state of Israel, and everybody, no matter what they were doing or where they were, including on El Al flights, on trains, in cafes, in offices, all across the country, everybody came to a complete standstill as the mournful siren wailed its cry across the country. And as we speak, over 9,000 participants in the annual March of the Living are in Poland, marching from Auschwitz to Birkenau to commemorate the victims of the Holocaust. A sizable delegation from the Israeli Association of Midwives is participating, and they say in tribute to those who risked their lives to serve as midwives during the Holocaust, to bring and to birth another generation of Jews so that the Jewish people could continue. And they did this at great risk to themselves and without any medical assistance, doctors or medicines. Earlier today, dignitaries laid wreaths at Yad Vashem in a second ceremony. Earlier this morning and on Holocaust Memorial Day, there was a terror attack close to the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in Jerusalem. The neighborhood has been a very, very volatile place in recent years. 2 ultra-Orthodox men were moderately injured and have been taken to hospital, and the terrorist was neutralized. And also on Holocaust Memorial Day, Iranian President Raisi, that country commemorating Iran Army Day, threatened that any action, no matter how big or small, committed against Iran by Israel would result in the complete destruction of Tel Aviv and Haifa. Raisi, as well as the Ayatollah, have been renowned over recent years for tweeting and saying the most horrific Holocaust denial and anti-Semitic invective, including calling for the destruction or another genocide of the Israeli people with the proposed destruction of the State of Israel. And finally, we take a look at what the Iranian Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has been doing in Israel. He is here as part of a historic visit. He is the highest ranking Iranian official in history to visit the State of Israel. Earlier today, he visited the Kotel, the Wailing Wall, and quoted about the Persian Accord, saying that the relationship between the Israeli and the Iranian people goes back to the days of Cyrus, where Cyrus returned Jews out of exile back to the land of Israel to build their holy temple, which the remains of which are the Wailing Wall, the Kotel. He also participated in Holocaust Memorial Day events last night and this morning. Pahlavi met with Prime Minister Netanyahu as well as President Herzog and very movingly paid a shiva call to the D family, whose mother Lucy and two beautiful daughters Rina and Maya were brutally murdered in a terror attack just over a week ago. While he's here, Pahlavi will also learn about water technology, visit the Baha'i community, and meet with various cultures and officials. And we cannot underscore just how important this historical visit by Crown Prince Pahlavi is. Welcome to Israel, Your Royal Highness. Long may bridges between Iranians and Israelis be built. And that brings me to the end of today's broadcast, and we just want to caution people. We know that there are a lot of WhatsApp groups and a lot of news and a lot of social media activists out there. We just want to remind people that all information on the Israel Brief is credited, and just to be very mindful of where you get your news. With that in mind, it is time to remind you of our website, which you can find at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottle's site. Please consider liking, sharing, and of course, following us. Our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. Like, share, and subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button. And we're on Twitter as well, where you can follow us at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks. I'm going to be on location in Jerusalem for the next 2 days for the special World Zionist Congress in celebration of 75 years of the modern state of Israel. I will be there with a sizable WITSO delegation, and please be patient as I try to bring you your news as timelessly as possible. In the meantime, take care and don't forget to join me again for your top stories.